Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Unforgettable Christmas moments. Coco Gauff and Mom Candi celebrate family joy after church. Christmas morning unfolded gently, like the opening notes of a familiar hymn. Soft, hopeful, and full of promise. The church bells rang out across the quiet neighborhood, their sound carrying warmth through the cool winter air. Beneath a sky washed pale gold by the early sun, families gathered in festive coats and scarves, greeting one another with smiles that seemed brighter simply because it was Christmas. Inside the church, Coco Gauff sat beside her mother, Candi, their shoulders nearly touching. The pews were wooden and worn smooth by decades of worship, and the air held the faint scent of pine and candle wax. Coco bowed her head as a final prayer was spoken, her thoughts drifting not to matches or rankings, but to gratitude for health, for family, for a year that had challenged and shaped her. When the service ended, Candi reached for Coco's hand, squeezing it gently. "Merry Christmas," she whispered. Coco smiled back. "Merry Christmas, Mom." Stepping out into Christmas light. Outside, sunlight spilled across the church steps. Illuminating wreaths hung along the entrance, and strings of lights wrapped carefully around the railings. Laughter rose as children darted between adults, their excitement bubbling over. Neighbors exchanged warm embraces, and someone called out, "God bless," as Coco and Candi walked past. For a moment, Coco paused at the top of the steps, taking it all in. In stadiums, she thrived on noise, cheers crashing like waves. But here, the quiet joy felt deeper, steadier. "This feels grounding," Coco said softly. Candi nodded. "That's the beauty of Christmas. It brings us back to what matters." A drive filled with memories. The car ride home was filled with familiar sounds. Christmas carols humming to the speakers, the rhythmic swish of passing cars, and the easy conversation that only family can share. Coco leaned back, watching decorated houses glide by, each one a small story of celebration. "Do you remember your first Christmas after your first big junior win?" Candi asked with a smile. Coco laughed. "I wouldn't stop talking about my trophy. I even tried to put a Santa hat on it. And it fell over," Candi added, laughing. "You were more upset about the hat than the trophy." They shared a laugh that bridged years of memories. Long practice days, early mornings, tough losses, unforgettable wins. Home, where the heart is. Their home welcomed them with warmth the moment they stepped inside. The Christmas tree stood proudly in the corner, adorned with ornaments collected over the years, some glittering, others simple, each holding a memory. A gentle aroma of spices drifted from the kitchen, promising a meal made with care. Coco slipped off her coat and walked toward the tree, her fingers brushing an ornament shaped like a tiny tennis ball. "This one's from when I was 12, she said. "You bought it after my first national title." Candi smiled. "I wanted you to remember that day, not for the win, but for how happy you were." A table of togetherness. Lunch was a joyful, unhurried affair. Plates were passed, stories shared, laughter echoing softly through the room. There was no rush, no schedule, just presence. At one point, Coco grew quiet, her gaze thoughtful. "Mom," she said, "do you ever worry about how much I'm away?" Candi set her fork down gently. "Of course I miss you, but I know why you're chasing your dreams. And I know you carry home with you wherever you go." Coco nodded, emotion flickering across her face. "I try to." "You do," Candi said warmly. "Every time you choose kindness. Every time you remember who you are. Gifts from the heart." In the afternoon, they gathered near the tree to exchange gifts. There were no extravagant surprises, just thoughtful tokens of love. A new journal for Coco, its cover simple and elegant. A scarf for Candi, soft and warm. Coco opened a small envelope tucked beneath the tree. Inside was a handwritten note from her mother. "No matter how far your journey takes you, remember this home, these moments, and the faith that guides you. Christmas reminds us that love is our greatest victory." Coco felt her throat tighten. She stood and wrapped her arms around Candi. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." Candi hugged her back. "Always." An evening of quiet joy. As evening settled in, the house glowed softly with the light of the Christmas tree. Outside, the neighborhood shimmered with decorations, each home adding its own sparkle to the night. Coco and Candi sat together on the couch, mugs of hot cocoa warming their hands. They spoke of the year ahead, not with pressure, but with hope. "I want to play with more freedom," Coco said, "to remember why I fell in love with tennis in the first place." Candi smiled, "And you will, because joy has always been your strength. A Christmas that lingers." Before heading upstairs, Coco paused, looking once more at the tree, at the lights reflecting softly off the ornaments. This Christmas wouldn't be remembered for headlines or trophies. It would be remembered for stillness, for laughter, for faith shared quietly after church. In a world that often demanded more, Christmas had asked for less and given so much in return. As the house grew quiet, a simple truth lingered in the air. No matter how bright the spotlight, the truest joy was always found right here, together. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.